Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the John Morgan Show. Come on down. Let's play some volleyball.
There are two sides to every single story. The passion and the glory, just trying to make it through the day. You know we're trying to come together, arm in arm and hand in hand. And with my brother I will fight to unify our land. America, home of the brave. We stand strong when we're willing to change. And I will wash the feet of freedom and bow down on my knees, praying for a healing, fighting for the freedom of my brother and me. And on the other hand, there are those who would undo us, unruly who would rule us and break us all apart. And I will stand beside you and fight against injustice and lawless ones among us. Come on, let freedom ring. America, home of the brave. We stand strong when we're willing to change. And I will wash the feet of freedom and bow down on my knees, praying for a healing, fighting for the freedom of my brother and me. E pluribus unum, get your guitars and tune them. Melody and harmony, let's make a little revelry. E pluribus unum, get your guitars and tune them. Melody and harmony, let's make a little revelry. E pluribus unum, get your guitars and tune them. Melody and harmony, let's make a little revelry. Bring that guitar. America, home of the brave. We stand strong when we're willing to change. I will wash the feet of freedom, bow down on my knees, praying for a healing, fighting for the freedom of my brother and me, praying for a healing for my brother and me, fighting for the freedom of my brother and me. America.
Well, I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll. Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the John Morgan Show. I am so honored to be here with you today. So excited about what God is going to do, what we get to chat about. Hey, Mary, what's up? Good to see you. Well, I spent the last couple of days hanging out with my sister's grandson, Wesley, 6 years old. And, well, I tell you what, I love it when it all comes down to playing with dinosaurs and little matchbook cars and balsa wood airplanes and catching fish. It's really nice. Seems out lately, babe, I got the blues. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not too sure anybody heard that guy. I didn't hear him. Sorry about that. I apologize. I'm still dealing with not technologically perfect this guy up here. It worked when I rehearsed it, but then it didn't, and then it didn't. And I wasn't sure. I just figured it would work. Hi, Diane. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, I had the best time serving my sister Marianne. Marianne and her husband Pat, who are serving my sister Janice, as you know, as she is battling cancer. And they are day in and day out, 24/7, all week long. And I'll tell you, they needed a few days away, and I was very happy to accept the task of babysitting. And I got to hang out with Janice in the evenings. And there's, other folks there, caretaker. Everything was A-okay, but my primary responsibility was this great little guy, Wesley, a brilliant young man. And I'll tell you, it's so nice to see life boil down to such innocence and such clear-minded. It was all about, do you want to go fishing before school? And we wound up catching a catfish at 7:30 in the morning. It was crazy. It was quite an amazing morning. Flying balsa wood airplanes and just telling stories and looking at children's Bible stories. What a blast to remember the good old days. I'll tell you, I love the America of the past, where patriotism was actually a good thing and not an evil thing, where we didn't have to worry about people fearing the American flag and saying that it is somehow a symbol of hatred. Oh my goodness. It's amazing what you can convince people of if you say it enough times. And that's what has been happening in America. I get along great with so many people, and in my mind, we're just not culturally at war with one another. But every time you turn around, we're being told that that guys like me are the bad guys, and that everybody else, is the good guys, and that I need to own my badness, and just recognize that it's us against everybody else, and all the other groups need to come together and overthrow, and all this crazy stuff. Really? Really? America is good and getting better. America is a place of opportunity and growing like crazy in that opportunity. Perfect? No. Is it still, are there still disparities? Yes. But we're working on those disparities and making them better and getting better every day. But the folks behind all of this stuff that's just constantly hammering at folks, making one group out to be the good guy and one group out to be the bad guys, their goal is, folks, we've got to wake up. They want to overthrow us. It is a diabolical plot to overthrow America. I mean, I remember, my whole life growing up, there was always the mad scientist that wanted to take over the world. There was always the one guy. It was always one guy, and he had his rocket ship and his his ray gun that could kill a whole city. And if they didn't give him $1 million, $1 billion. Now, of course, it would be $1 trillion. He's going to destroy a whole city. Well, guess what, folks? Dr. Evil is an ideology that is bent on destroying the family, destroying Christianity, destroying probably all religion, and bent on destroying our cities, and bent on destroying our flag and our Constitution. And we got to realize that and fight back. It's everything right to acknowledge what's wrong. Hey, Brad, good to see you, brother. I appreciate you, man of God. Great man. I love this dude, Brad Cornell, my good friend. It's of course right to acknowledge the disparities that exist, but they are nowhere near as severe as they are made out to be by the people that ring the same bell over and over again. If you say a lie enough times, it's human nature to start to believe it. And those who have have the reins, have got the reins of all the entire media, for most of the media anyway, and they just keep ringing that same bell, cultural this, cultural that, and making some groups feel like victims and some groups feel ashamed and guilty because of supposedly they're out to get the other group. I don't ever remember being out to get anybody else. All I want is for everyone to come to know Jesus without regard to anything. Jesus is building his kingdom. And folks, guess what? That's what the world is about. It's not about this country or that country, it's about the gospel. God created the world and sent his son to redeem the world, everyone in the world, and to help people to live a holy, godly life. And that's what the world is about. It's not about overthrowing this country or that country or that capitalism is the scourge. It isn't. Capitalism lifts people. It doesn't oppress people. That's a lie, folks. And it's important to know that that's true. If that sounds in your ears, if that sounds like it's off, then you really need to study, because it's very important to know the truth. The truth will set you free. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in this, this particular group, okay? Happy with my gender, happy with my what, married. I do have privilege. There's no question about it. As a Christian, I enjoy the privilege of the Holy Spirit helping me every single day to make wise decisions, to throw off selfishness and choose to be a giver choose to be a lover. If it weren't for Christ, I would be the most selfish guy. I was the most selfish guy I knew. I still fight with selfishness, but not like I used to. I used to just give myself for my own pleasure. Now, I tend to want to give myself for the good of others. That's the change that Jesus makes in your heart, by the way. It's called sanctification, going from glory to glory, getting to become more and more like him each and every passing day. And what a joy it is to not be who I was. Now, I know my wife will be the first one to tell you, John Morgan got a long way to go. I know I'm not there yet. But, buddy, what a joy to be on the path. And capitalism, America, freedom is the greatest place on earth, the greatest place to practice the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, the freedom of worship, all enshrined in our Constitution. How can that be such an evil thing? The Bill of Rights, the abolition of slavery, and the war on human trafficking, the war on terrorism. We are moving, my friends, in an upward direction. We are moving to tear down what remains of racism. And yes, of course, there still exists disparities, clear ones. Some people are not down with the change. Those people need to be corrected at the very least. We celebrate unity in America. George W.'s brand new book called Out of Many, One, which is the translation of the words right in the middle of the American seal, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. 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 The Bible also talks about one. In John chapter 17, Jesus said, I pray that they would all be one. I in you, you in me, and us in them. One people, sons and daughters of the Most High God. One beautiful human race. Everyone caring for one another equally, praying for one another, lifting up one another, valuing one another without regard to whether you're a man or a woman. That's us. So let's throw off everything that fights against those principles. Let's be done with it. And let's go have a great barbecue dinner together, right? That's America. The land of the free and the home of the brave. Talk about it, folks. Talk it up. Celebrate it. Share with your brother and with your sister the goodness of the gospel and the goodness of the American way, the Constitution, laying down our lives for the good of one another. That's us, folks. Right on. And pray for the sick. Pray for your enemies. Pray for those who abuse you. Oh, man, I had to do a lot of that growing up. I didn't do it because I wasn't a Christian until much later. But I had to do an awful lot of forgiving. I went through a lot of bullying as a kid. But you know what? I survived it. And I don't want to bully anyone. I want to lift everyone. I want to lift, not hinder. I want to help. I want to be a channel of God's peace, not discord and strife that's being sown every day in our schools. Can you imagine? Making people feel bad about themselves simply because of their color of skin? Melatonin? Come on. Rightness and wrongness is a moral thing. It has to do with choices we make. How can it have anything to do with the way God made us? No, friends, we are all equal in the eyes of God. Hallelujah. There are those who accept Christ and those who don't. And those are really the two groups on planet Earth.
Hey, I'm Warren Smith at the Trail Life USA National Conference, and I just want you to know that John Morgan was here with us, and he did such a fantastic job with the boys and their parents here. If you care about faith, family, and freedom, you need to have John Morgan at your next event. I promise you, he will wow the crowd and make you proud.
Well, I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll. Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue.
Thanks so much for tuning into the John Morgan Show today. I appreciate you so much. And if you are a man and you are in need of some encouragement and you happen to be in the Dallas area or have some frequent flyer points, get some tickets and make your way to Dallas, Texas for the Promise Keepers event this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Off the chain. God bless you guys. I love you so much. You know, I came back because I forgot to share with you. I just had an awesome conversation with a friend of mine who talked about faith and unbelief. You know, I've had a struggle with unbelief. And of course, as you probably most all know, I declared war on unbelief some years ago. But I've been kind of losing that war. But no more. I am re-upping, I am redeclaring war on unbelief. And I am learning a great deal about it, and I'll be sharing that with you in the coming days. So I just wanted to throw that out there and remind you, or not remind you, but tell you. I meant to tell you, but then I forgot. And keep praying for Janice. Keep believing God. He may take her home. He may heal her. But I am going to believe for her freedom from sickness until the day she's either free or free, if you know what I mean. God bless you guys, and have a great, great afternoon.